hello, and welcome to the episode that we call Growing Up Clark. Today is a very special day. I am super excited and super stoked. We have a special guest, and this guest is none other than Louisa Clark, better known as Granny. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the matriarch of our family, Louisa Clark. Woo!
Yay!
Wait, I thought her name was Louisa.
Hey, Granny.
Is your name Louisa or Louisa?
Let me tell you that story.
Louisa?
Listen,
Oh, yeah. Really? I've been calling you Louisa forever.
look,
Me
Joanna,
too.
Okay.
her mama called her Louisa. Her name is Louisa, but to the world, she said her name is Louisa. Okay? But we know her as Louisa. Granny, what you say?
Okay, for years, I was called Louisa. And then all of a sudden, I moved to Indiana, and that's how I got Louisa.
All right. So she set the record straight. Her name is Louisa, but the other people call her Louisa. But we know her as Granny, so that's all that counts, right?
Right.
Listen, this is the perfect time, Granny. I've been trying to keep this as long as I can remember.
Good.
But could you please tell the other two out of the three of us that I'm your favorite granddaughter? Could you tell them that?
First of all,
Granny didn't believe that.
okay, cause her favorite granddaughter is Nene. She don't like none of us.
Danya, I need you to listen. I said out of the three of us.
Set the record
Okay,
straight.
okay.
Who is your favorite?
Wait a minute. My favorite what?
Out of the three of us.
Child.
Who is my favorite grandchild?
Out of the three of us.
Out of the three of us.
Donnie.
I'm listening, Granny. Who was your favorite? Tell them it's me.
It's me.
It's Donnie.
It's now we know.
And let me tell y'all why.
Hold
Let
on.
me tell y'all why. I'm gonna tell y'all why. I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm Granny's favorite. Okay.
Danya, we didn't ask you why
Don't
you
be
the favorite.
offended. I need to explain to you. Don't be
Wait a minute.
offended. It's because I make her laugh.
Donnie wouldn't have nothing to do with me. Her mama used to leave her with me, and she would sit in her mama's bed, try to sit in her mama's bed until her mama got back.
She didn't have nothing to do with you. How long did that go on, Granny?
I don't know, girl. I don't know how long that went on. And forever, I guess, until I got ready to move to Memphis to take care of my mother. Then when I got ready to move to Memphis to take care of my mother, boy, they like to die.
Let me tell you something. Miss Granny, let me tell you something. You watch the Golden Girls?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
You never watch the TV show Golden Girls?
Yeah, I have.
You heard of Shady Pines?
You ain't got to go to Shady Pines.
I know.
You ain't going to nobody's retirement home, Granny.
I know I ain't got to go to Shady.
Granny's your favorite.
I
Look,
got
she
you,
live-
Granny.
When she lived with my mama, I got a little influence. I'm gonna have to send you to Shady Pines since that girl.
Man, ain't nobody thinking about Granny. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. You ain't got to go no home.
Right, Granny. You ain't got to
I
go.
ain't got to go no
You ain't got to
Shady
go.
Pines.
And Granny,
Out
I
is not-
started liking you before you left for Memphis. Remember when we went for a ride that time and you bought us some peanuts from Mr. Joe the Peanut Man?
Yeah.
And we sat at the table and ate some peanuts. That's when I started liking you.
Peanuts, huh?
You like me. You didn't like me until I bought you peanuts.
But
mean,
she your
basically-
favorite though, right?
I know she's your favorite though, Granny.
She's my favorite.
Okay. Moving right along. So, Granny, would you say that any of us, our personalities are like our mothers? Am I like my mom? Is Wani like her mom? Is Donnie like her mom? Or are we different?
Let me see. Let me give this some thought. Thank God y'all ain't like your mama.
Anywho, Granny, which one of us, between the three of us, would you say was the craziest? We already know the answer. We want to hear what you say.
Donnie.
Okay.
I would have to agree with that.
Which
I feel
one
some
of us?
kind of way.
Which one of us is the meanest?
Wani.
Well, everybody say I'm the meanest. I'm like,
you know
babe.
you the
one
meanest.
out of all of y'all.
No,
Babe.
you're the meanest one. Okay, and which one of us is the funniest?
You.
I'm the funniest. Okay.
No, you're not.
Why you gotta be a hater?
Because you don't even know how to take a good joke. I sent you all those funny, corny jokes, and you didn't think they was fun.
Girl, them jokes was whack.
Them jokes was hilarious.
Girl, you was crazy. Okay. So for me, I want to ask you guys, do you all have what are some of your best memories with Granny and something that you're grateful to her for? And I'll start. I have two really good memories.
Wow.
One memory is when I think Granny lived on Dallas Street in Gary, and Auntie Shirley used to come home for Christmas every year. I guess she still does. And we had, all three of us, we had these big, tall boxes full of toys and all kinds of stuff. And those are the memories that I remember most as a kid, was Christmas time, because everybody was home and we got together and we all had the same stuff. So that was something that I always thought was special. We all gathered at Granny's house at Christmas time. And then my second fondest memory, we lived on Miller Avenue. Oh no, Miller Avenue was my mom's address. This was the house we lived in that our cousins Alvin and Gail lived in by the projects in Gary. I swear to this day that there is an Easter bunny. When I was a little girl, I looked out that window from that kitchen and it was a big life-size bunny rabbit hopping away. I ran up the stairs. There was a big Easter basket on my bed. I swear to God, I believe in Peter Rabbit. I don't believe in Santa. No elves, no Lucky Charms, but Peter Rabbit, that's my guy.
Peter
And
Rabbit. Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit.
Is your guy? Is that what you said? Okay.
Peter Rabbit is my guy.
Why?
And the most, why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I swear I saw him. I saw a bunny leave our house in Miller, and I went upstairs and there was an Easter basket on my bed. I remember to this day. So
I used to have a rabbit.
That's one of my memories with Granny. Unlike you guys, I didn't grow up with Granny, so I would only come like during the summer. And I remember, I think you were in Cleveland, and you had a bunny. So those are one of my. I remember like playing with this bunny.
What was his name?
I don't know what the bunny's name was.
His name was Slick. His name was Slick.
Okay. So I do remember that.
Oh, I forgot about Slick.
I remember Slick.
You remember?
I remember Slick.
Yeah. But you know what? That was the strangest rabbit I ever seen. And one time he went behind my TV and bit into the electric wires, come up from behind the TV with his ear sticking up like that.
He got a little shot.
Yeah. No,
Donnie, what was your
on that right?
What's your fondest memory with Granny?
All right, so me and Granny go way back like similar. So we got a few memories. So I do remember, so my love for peanuts is because of Granny. And we used to get peanuts from Mr. Joe the Peanut Man on 25th Avenue. And I remember them peanuts, that little bag of peanuts used to be 25 cents. Man, last time I saw Mr. Joe the Peanut Man, them peanuts was like $1 and some change. I can't afford that.
Inflation.
I got 5 kids. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so like we would sit at the table and we would eat peanuts and we would drink RC Cola.
What else was in there RC?
We'll talk about that later now. But
I used to love RC.
I know. So we would eat peanuts and drink RC.
Mm-hmm.
And she would have the TV on, probably on some soap operas. I don't know. But that was one of my favorite memories. And then like another one of my favorite memories is I got baptized before Granny moved to Tennessee. And so she saw me get baptized at her church. So that was one of my favorite memories. Now, I mean, I got some stories to tell about some other stuff, but you said favorite memories. And so one of the other things that Granny taught me how to make banana pudding. from scratch.
All of my recipes come from Granny, so everything I know how to cook come from Granny.
Well, Joanna don't know how to cook, so we can't ask her that question.
But how you know that I sent Granny a book and she wrote her recipes down for me? Thank you very much. So
And yet, she still don't cook.
I said I don't cook. I didn't say I didn't know how. I said I don't.
Granny, just ignore her. So, Granny, do you have any stories, some funny stories that you can tell about each one of us?
I don't know nothing about no stories.
What about the one with me and you told me a story about with some chili?
Chili?
Yeah.
That's not a story.
That is a story. That's a memory. Tell us about it.
That's real.
A memory.
Okay. So I was feeding Rwanda one day. And so I didn't know she didn't know when she got enough. Uh-huh. I'm sitting up there feeding her. I thought she was going to say, Granny, I got enough. Mm-hmm. But she didn't. And I was just a feed. I didn't know she loved chili like that. And I was feeding her chili. And all of a sudden, she didn't say she had enough, but I knew she had enough when she puked all in the bowl what I was feeding out of.
I still love chili to this day. It's one of my faves. I love chili.
And you still greedy to this day and don't know when you had enough until your stomach start hurting.
I don't know. What I know what your favorite meal is. What? Green beans.
I used to love some green beans.
Oh, I hate green beans.
But you would eat them raw.
I would eat them raw. I love green beans. I still love green beans.
And she still like green beans. You know how I know you still like green beans?
How?
Because every time you go to Eunice, you want her to make you green beans.
Eunice?
Yeah.
You mean Auntie Eunice? Her mama or Donnie's mama?
Her mama.
Girl, you act like Joanna ain't never visited my mama.
Right. I said every time. I'm like, every time. Okay.
I mean, it's been few. Yeah, it's been few and far between. But whenever she come see her, she always want my mama to make her something specific.
Yeah,
but most people want my mama to make them fried chicken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
she does make it fried chicken.
Boy, you can kill some fried chicken.
Yeah,
she makes the best fried chicken.
Okay, Granny, I got a question. Do you remember when we lived? I don't know the name of that street, but remember we lived in that house where that man had died. His car had fell on him.
That's on Dallas Street.
Okay, Dallas Street. See, I don't know if this was a true story or not. I don't know if the man died in the garage, if the car fell on him, and they found his body because the car fell on him. And then Granny had this belt that was hanging on the wall, and she called the belt Mr. Bill. And whenever we would get in trouble, me and Jaja would get whooped with that belt. And she said it was Mr. Bill's belt. So, we thought the belt was haunted because they had us convinced that this man died in the garage and the car fell on him when he was working on his shop. So, listen, man, let me tell you, me and JD would walk past that belt. We'd be real quiet walking past that belt because we didn't know what was really going down.
Now, Granny knows she was supposed to take advantage of the handicap.
You know what I'm saying? And then every time we would get in trouble, she'd be like, go get Mr. Bill. Go get Mr. Bill. I remember that.
Go get Mr. Bill.
Hey, Granny, I got another. Do you remember when we lived in that apartment? I don't remember where it was, but I think me and my mama lived behind there, and I stuck a key in the socket. It turned out all the lights on in the apartment complex.
That's probably what's wrong with it now.
Not to across the room. But you know what? She was hard-headed.
So people got to learn how.
Don't do that, Donnie. Don't do that, Donnie. Don't do that, Donnie.
Judge your mama.
Hey, speaking of Donnie, Granny, do you know how Joanna and Danya got their nicknames? If you notice, Granny calls me LaWanda. She doesn't call me by my nickname, but she calls you two by your nicknames.
I do?
Yeah, you call, what's the girl name sitting next to you?
Lonnie.
Uh-huh. And what's the girl that's down below you?
Donnie.
And what's my name?
LaWanda.
See? She calls me by my
nickname.
I don't know.
Okay.
She never has.
I don't know. Have I ever?
You've never called me by my nickname. You've always called me
What's your
LaWanda.
nickname?
Lala.
Lala.
Oh, I never called her Lala.
Mm-mm.
Who used to call you Lula? Because we used to be Lula in the lollipops. Who used to call you that?
Girl, I don't know. You know how Joanna and Donnie got their nicknames?
Uh-uh.
I know how I got mine.
Oh.
So when I was first born, my nickname was Stank Stank. Apparently, I was the only baby who smelled like death when she went to the bathroom.
And
So my
still
name-
does.
Whatever. And Granny always say, Ish supposed to stink. So anywho, my mom dated this guy, Patrick Upshaw. And so
Patrick Upshaw.
he felt it was appropriate
That was one.
that a little happy, joyful baby girl should have a real nickname. So my nickname is Lala, and it's because my first name begins with L-A, and so does my middle name. So that's how I got my name. Do you guys know how you got your nicknames?
I
I have no clue.
Mm.
Listen,
I tried to call y'all mama, but nobody answered.
The only people who call me by my nickname are people I share DNA with. If anybody else calls me by my nickname, we're gonna have problems.
What she said?
Listen,
Nobody.
I go
don't
by
know.
Ivy. Refer to me as Ivy. Don't even call me Danya. Only call me Ivy.
Danya is such a beautiful name. I like that name.
I love it too, but most people can't read. They mispronounce it all the time. Dewana, Dwayna, Donye, all of that.
Well, look,
Call me
I
Ivy.
get Juanita. My name.
Ain't no T, ain't no T nowhere.
Or Jujuana or Juanita is the two names that I get called the most.
What?
Yeah. And the rest half of that.
We call you Jujuana just for fun, not because
Right.
we don't know your name.
Right.
I don't know.
Lord.
I don't know.
I
I did try to
Okay,
ask
Granny.
Granny. You
I
know how
all
they
of
have
our
my
name,
name?
I name you.
And who am I named after?
I don't know.
My mama said I was named after your mama. I was supposed to be named after your mama.
Oh, okay.
Jarena.
You were supposed to be
And
named
they
after my mama.
they messed up my name on the birth certificate. So that's how I became Joanna.
I know who I was named after. Granny named me too. Granny, do you remember who I was named after?
Mm-mm.
But anyway, Granny was watching something on TV and somebody's name was Danya and she thought it was pretty and that's how I ended up with my name.
Remember, Donnie, we say, Granny, can we have some coffee? She said, nah, coffee make you black. I said, I ain't drink no coffee as a kid, but I'm black as hell right now.
Remember she did give us some coffee. Well, she give us some milk and then she put a spoonful of coffee in it so it would be brown and then she added some sugar. Yeah, I remember that too.
Y'all is crazy.
I ain't drink no coffee as a kid either, but I'm black as hell.
Wait a minute. I remember. Let me tell this. When I raised you until you was. When did you go overseas? When you got 5?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Okay, I raised you until then. I didn't raise Donnie in a sense, but because Donnie used to didn't like me. And, she told you that, but about the peanuts. Up until then, she didn't like me. Cause she would sit on the end of her bed. I don't care what time her mama leave her with me. She would sit on the end of her bed until mama got back. But until I bought a peanut. Then after that, she liked me. And the one that never did stay with me because her mama was there. And Donnie and her mama moved with my ex-husband. I never won. I never won. You were the only one I raised until 5 o'clock. I mean, until you was 5 years old.
Yeah.
You was a preemie.
Yeah, I know.
On my way to work, I stopped at the hospital. I greased you down. I have you shining. You like new money.
Like new money.
I receive it, Granny.
Everybody at the hospital thought you were mine.
Really?
Yeah, because they said you favored me. Okay.
How early was I, Granny? How early was I born?
Okay, you was a preemie. You was just a preemie. You was born at the full term, but you was a preemie.
You can't be a full term if you was a preacher.
Yeah, you just didn't weigh enough.
Well, how much
Oh,
did you weigh,
okay.
Granny?
She what?
She didn't weigh enough.
Oh, she didn't wear enough.
Mm-hmm. She was full term, but she didn't weigh enough.
Oh, she was
How
just
much
tiny.
you weighed? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
How
you
much did
had
I weigh when I was born? Was I fat?
see, you must have weighed about,
Why you gonna make her laugh?
Because I was still she remember.
yeah, I remember. I think you weighed about 5 pounds.
Then Eunice say I weighed about 8 pounds. Somebody lying.
8 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Eunice said.
Mm-hmm. See, Granny, let me tell you. Remember that time? Remember that time when we lived on Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
And I had the chicken pox, right? And Eunice had school. So she left my stupid daddy there to babysit me. And you came home and it was peanut butter and jelly all on the ceiling and all on the
Peanut butter everywhere.
How you get peanut butter on the ceiling?
Daddy. I went to sleep. The mother made peanut butter. And her own peanut butter and jelly.
How old was she?
How old was she?
I was 5.
Wow.
Granny was mad.
Wait a
She
minute.
told him,
And he had-
you ain't gonna leave until you clean up every drop.
Hey, wait a minute. He wanted to leave. You can't leave in
You had to
here
clean that up, huh?
until you clean this up.
I
It was
remember that.
your fault that it was there. So he cleaned it up. And he was scared of me. He didn't play. I didn't play.
So before we end this episode, I wanted to do a round table and have each one of us say to Granny what we are most grateful for something maybe she's done for us in our life or who she's been to us. And I'll start. When I had my daughter, Granny was her caretaker. I didn't have to put my daughter into daycare. Granny was her caregiver. And so I know I've thanked her many times privately, but I want to publicly say thank you for being the caretaker of my little baby. You took care of her when I worked, when I went to school, when I did a little partying. And so I'm very grateful to you for that. And so thank
That's
you.
because, thank you. You're welcome. That's because I loved her. And still do.
Oh my God.
She's still my special little girl. That's what
Well, now you'll get a chance to see her. God willing, you'll get a chance to see her with her baby. So you won't get a chance to keep her baby, but you'll get a chance to interact with her and her baby. So that'll be pretty special for her.
Okay. No, I can't keep nothing no more babies. If I did, I mean.
Ooh, so when her baby get here, you gonna be a great grandma.
I'm gonna be it twice. Great grandmother twice.
You already a great. Tisha got baby.
Yeah.
And Nene's baby.
I'm already the great grandmother, but when
it'll be the same.
When Zaya's baby get here, I'll be it twice. Great grandmother twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Juju, what you think?
A great granny. That's your great granny.
A GGG. Oh, you already a GGG because that's what my kids call you.
I hate it. I don't like the GGG.
I like granny.
I like the granny.
Okay.
I know, but my kids won't do it. They don't cooperate. They call it GGG.
They will. They do now. When they call me on the phone, they call me granny.
Okay.
So we'll be 5 generations.
Yeah. And we got to have a picture made with 5 generations.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Joanna.
So one of the things I am grateful for is that I didn't grow up with my grandmother, so I would see her occasionally when we came down for the summer. But since she has moved here to Tallahassee, I've been able to spend a lot of time with her. Just getting her wisdom, being able to ask her questions, being able to ask about her history, how she grew up, being able to ask her, about her recipes, all of these things that I never got to do when I was younger, I'm able to do now. And I also cherish the fact that she's able to spend time with my kids and that she's able to, love on them. We're able to go places with them. So I feel like that because I didn't get to do that when I was younger, that God has actually given me an opportunity to kind of do it now. So I am very, very appreciative of that. I love my granny. I mean, literally, if anything happened to her, I don't know what I would do at this point because, I mean, she's like my favorite person. If she gets like,
girl, I'm gonna need you to get some more friends.
Look, when she gets sick or whatever, I'm like, I got it. Y'all ain't got to worry. I will stay with my granny. I will be there with her 24/7. I love my granny and I love spending time with her.
And I love you. And you know what? When I was sick and in the hospital, guess who spent the night with me?
Wani.
Yeah, I was so glad. She don't know it. And but anyway, I was scared to stay out there that first night. But then when I was in the hospital the last time, I stayed by myself. I didn't want you to have
and
to.
And I asked her, I was like, Granny, I would drop what I need to drop and come out there. She
I
was
know
like,
she
no,
would.
you need to stay home.
I told her stay home. But anyway,
isn't that a blessing though?
But when I was first in the hospital, I was scared to stay by myself. And I was so glad she stayed with me. And I woke up and looked over, and there she was. Okay.
It's funny you say that, Joanna, because I did think about that. You didn't spend the same amount of time that Donnie and I got to spend as younger kids, but now, so we got a different granny during that time than you have now. We've seen her, progress, but now you're getting a chance to actually be with her, and your kids are able to be with her. And so I think that's a wonderful blessing. Maybe it is divine that it kind of happened that way. So you kind of have it all to yourself now versus, me and Donnie, had to share her.
Let me tell you about one of his little kids. When I was in the hospital the first time, they came to see me. And that little boy of hers is so sensitive, you wouldn't believe it. And he started crying. And he pretended he wanted his daddy. But we all knew why he was crying. He was crying because I was in the hospital. And one said when he went home, he cried the rest of the night.
He could not sleep because his granny was in the hospital. And he
Aww,
was so worried about her. He was we prayed like 3 or 4 times for her that night. But he was so upset that she was in the hospital.
And he's where he wanted his daddy, but he was crying about me. I said, Lord, this is a little hard. Yeah. But kids are strange. I'm gonna tell you something about these little kids nowadays. You wouldn't think that they cared as much about things as they do. Just like your baby. She said she don't want that corona. She said she don't want. Yeah. She said she don't want to get sick, but she don't want that corona. But that was funny. That corona messed up everybody. Well, anyway, I don't realize it so much. Cause I don't gonna know anyway.
We know. All right, Granny. So listen, I guess one of the things that I am thankful for when it comes to my crusty critter. So what she has always done is she has always shown love by feeding people, by cooking and feeding people. And that is something that I got from her. So I watched her when I was growing up cooking all the time. And so one of the things that I do is I show love by feeding people. Like I'm always trying to feed people. Like one of my fondest memories of growing up, period, is at my granny's house, even when she lived in a small apartment, or at my grandma. We always gathered in the kitchen in the dining room area.
Yeah.
So that's why those areas are so important for me in my home, is because it was all love. I mean, and let me tell y'all something. Granny lived in a real small apartment. It'd be like 25, 15 of us in there. It was hot, but
it was fun.
It was fun. And we were in there and it was full of laughter and love. And so those are the things that I equate with love,
Let me
feeding,
tell you
and
why. Before you finish, let me tell you something. Anytime you're in the kitchen cooking, make sure there's love. Okay,
that's
now
true.
go ahead.
So, and that's something else. So what I found is that when I'm cooking, so a lot of people will eat something that I make and they'll be like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Woo, how do you make it? So I try to give them the recipe, but theirs never tastes like mine.
Right.
And the reason it never tastes like mine is because you have to, cooking is an emotional thing, and what you feel when you cook comes out in your food. And so, yeah, I know y'all think I'm mean and evil all the time, but I'm not. Most of the time, I'm actually pretty darn nice and loving and affectionate. So,
let me tell you something,
Granny. Thank you, Granny, for teaching me to cook with love and to love by feeding, because it is my love language and I enjoy it. What you gotta say, Black across the Black?
You're welcome, Donnie.
Thank you, baby.
I don't know about none of that other stuff you cook, but that macaroni and cheese.
They tell me about that. They tell me about
Girl, let me tell you something.
Have you had it?
I don't think so, cousin.
If you had it, you would remember. Let me tell you something.
If you had it, you would remember.
Yeah, that's what they said. Even Luanda's mama thinks she's the greatest cook in the world.
That I don't know about nothing else,
Said
but that
your
macaroni and cheese
is the best.
I
never
That is
had
thebomb.com. Now you need to package that to sell it. Now that's for sure.
So
You know, I like my own food, but when we visit in Texas, I'll bring what I like. You cook what you like, but that macaroni and cheese,
you gotta have it.
Yeah, that's the good stuff there.
So when your mother was here, helping me when my mom got sick, I made her some, and she was mad that she couldn't take it back with her.
Talking about your mama now.
Probably. Yeah. Hey, you remember that time that Granny came to was it Alabama? I think it was you.
Oh yeah, when we came, me and Granny came for Thanksgiving.
We came for Thanksgiving, and we had bought I had bought, because I didn't want her cooking, so I had bought like a turkey or ham, turkey or something. And
some foolery, and we still end up cooking
some stuffing, and Granny was like,
No.
The Honey Ham Company. She was like, It was like she scrapped all of that and made some from scratch dressing.
I remember that, because
and y'all went out that morning, Thanksgiving morning. To what, 4 o'clock?
Yeah, we went shopping that morning.
Oh yeah, we did. We went to the PX and everything. I remember. But wait, I remember that because Granny was complaining while we was in the airport. Right now, y'all keep in mind, Granny can't never see nothing. But when I tried to lose her in the airport, she saw me all the way down that road, but she can't see. So,
Lord,
I can see. I see you now. I see you now.
Lord,
I see you too, Krusty Critter. Anyway, I'm forever thankful to my granny for many things, but the gift of cooking and to express love through my food is one of those things. So I love you, Krusty Critter.
I love you too, Donnie.
Granny, do you have anything else you would like to say to our audience or to us?
I don't know. I just want y'all to know I love you.
Oh, we love you too.
All 3 of you.
I love you too, Granny.
But don't forget I'm the favorite. Hey.
Don't forget the favorite.
But she here with me, so.
I'm here with her.
Your mama. Your mama, okay?
I don't understand. I don't understand that, but whatever.
You be all right.
So that she understand how Donnie the favorite.
Hey.
Sometimes the one just ain't worth trying to figure out.
I hear you. I call you 2-3 times a week. How often you hear from that thing down there?
every 3 to 6 months. Every 3 to 6 months. I don't need to
And I know this. And so this is why I just can't figure. It's mind-boggling. I call you.
What is understood does not need to
lives there, and this fool don't call her for 6 months, and that's her favorite.
What is understood does not need to be explained. Me and Granny, we here. We here. Don't be mad.
Okay.
Just wrap this thing up, girl.
Some things just don't need to be explained.
let's go on record. Let's go on record saying in 2 years, Louisa says she wants a party. Don't y'all forget that.
Oh,
Yeah,
at
we got.
90,
Oh yeah,
at
so
90,
Brandon said,
at 90, I want a party.
and we gonna turn up.
Okay, I like pina colada now.
If you like I can't with y'all. I got stuff to do.
Y'all is nuts. On that note, as always, peace and hair grease.